Hey y'all, welcome back to Leslie's Mature Makeup and Beauty. Today we're going to do some March 2022 favorites and fails. I don't have many fails, but first I got a couple of kind of random things to talk about, I guess. The first thing is, I had talked about this once before, the City Lips Plumping Lip Gloss. This is just the clear one. You know, I wasn't really sure if it was actually doing much for my lips. Well, I finally finished up the second tube, and once I stopped using it, I think it was helping my smoker's lines look a little bit less noticeable. I was using it twice a day, kind of like more of a treatment type thing, and I would, a lot of times put it on before I started doing my makeup, and it was making a difference. So once I can catch a sale, like a buy one get one or something, I am going to pick up some more of these, but I wanted to update y'all on that because originally I wasn't really sure if it was actually doing anything, but I was still using it, so I didn't really notice what it was doing until I stopped using it. So I am going to be purchasing some more of this. I've got like a tiny bit more I can scrape out of here, I think, but yeah. So I just wanted to update y'all on that. And then we have invested in one of the Kenzie IPL lasers. I think I've done about 3 treatments. This is I think an intermittent pulse laser or something. This is what the device itself looks like, and it's got the little window. It's for hair removal. My husband has been shaving his head. I'm trying to put this back in the box here. And he has to shave it like every day, every other day. And I was looking at one of those because I wanted to try it for some different areas. And we decided to invest in one. We've only been using it for just a few weeks. It's supposed to take about 12 weeks before you see the full results. So I will update y'all on that. So if you're interested in knowing more about that or seeing does it really work, y'all hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, because it's going to take us a couple of more months before we really, know for sure if it's doing what it's supposed to do. And we'll go ahead and knock out the fails first. Y'all know I like to get those out of the way, and then we can talk about all the happy things. The first thing I want to mention is this CeraVe Hydrating Mineral Sunscreen. It's an SPF of 30. It claims to blend seamlessly into the skin with a lightweight, non-greasy feel, and I absolutely do not agree with that. It's a mineral sunscreen. It's tinted. The tint is fine. It leaves me super shiny. That's what the color looks like, but this just feels heavy. And it seems like it takes quite a while for it to sink into my skin. I am going to finish it up, but I just didn't love it. It just feels heavy, and it just looks like super duper shiny. Like I have another couple of hydrating sunscreens that I like better than this, but this one was not a favorite. And then the next thing that did not work out for me this month is the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Foundation. And it could be that I got a bad one because it's still, no matter how much I shake or swirl, it doesn't seem like it's fully mixed like it should be. But this just did not look good on my skin. It emphasized all the bad stuff. I really didn't love it. So I'm not counting those 2 as fails. And then the rest of my favorites are mostly all things that are new to me this month. I still have lots of old favorites. These are just kind of the things of the new products that I tried this month that really have stuck into my routine or stuck out as being particularly fabulous. So let's get started with those. And the first one is the foundation I have on today. It's the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. This is just gorgeous. There's something about it that just, it's a little bit on the dewier side, but there's something about it that's just kind of like perfecting on your skin. Even though it's a more radiant foundation, it's not super radiant. It doesn't make you look greasy. Usually those really emphasize my pores and my texture, but this one doesn't, and it's just, there's something about it that's just so pretty on the skin. I've reached for this one quite a bit. Now, has it replaced my favorite drugstore foundations? I don't know. Because it is spendier, but man, it's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I have the shade M1.5 if you think you're close to my skin tone. I do have cool undertones. I am 41 years old. I have mostly normal skin. I can get a little bit combo, a little oily in the T-zone. I got enlarged pores and wrinkles and all that kind of stuff. So, but this just, something about it, it just looks pretty on the skin, even, you know, in natural light. And I do have a video, you know, where I tested that out for y'all. But I've really been loving it. And I make that face because it hurts my feelings to love expensive things, I guess. I don't know. So that's my first favorite of the month. And then the next thing, unfortunately, these are still sold out. The Colourpop pressed powder blushes in this heart-shaped compact. This shade, Flirt Alert, it is what I have on my cheeks today. It's just gorgeous. It's a nice, like, silky formula. It's buildable, so you can shear it out or you can build it up. But it's just, I've reached for this quite a bit. I think the shade is just, it's one of those that kind of goes with almost anything. And like I said, you can still get on the list to be notified when it's back in stock. So maybe they're going to restock them, but I don't know. I wish they would make these permanent. I know they came out the first time, I think, around like Valentine's Day, and then again this year was Valentine's Day. This was the only shade that I picked up, and I wanted to get more, but I just never got the chance to get my hands on them. And then another thing from Colourpop that I have really been enjoying, I picked up this Truth or Bear lippie pencil vault, and I am going to chunk this box after this, but these lip pencils are super nice. I think this retails for around $28. You get 10 pencils, so that's like $2.80 a pencil. But they're they go on really creamy. I was looking for the shade that I'm wearing today. They go on creamy, but then they kind of dry down and just don't budge. There's lots of pretty shades in this one, and they have another kind of brighter, it'll be the last one I look at in here. Yeah, this is the shade I'm wearing today, Obvi. And I love Cool BFF. That's one of my other favorite shades. But they are sharpenable pencils. Like, it feels kind of plasticky, but you can sharpen it. But I've got this one on today mixed with another couple of lip products. But this, I've just really enjoyed these. I've used several of the shades out of here. And like I said, they go on super creamy, but then they kind of dry down to more of a matte finish, and they last well. I've been really, really pleased with this formula. It makes me want to pick up the other vault, like I need more lip pencils, like I need another hole in the head, but I've really enjoyed these, and I think this is a great deal for this, you know, this amount of pencils. I think they normally retail for somewhere around $7, so they're not super expensive anyway, but I've really enjoyed this formula. So that's that. And then another thing that I tried, I think in the same video that I tried, their glowing lip formula from Colourpop. It's a very creamy, it kind of melts into your lips. This is the shade Cockatoo. That's the only shade that I have so far. I do want to grab some more. It's a super, it kind of reminds me of the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips, but not quite as melty, I guess I would say. But these are a really super comfortable formula. I think they're around $8 or so. But they just feel really nice. Now, it's not a long-lasting product because it is a creamier formula, but I've really been enjoying it. I have that on today. I have that Obvi lip liner on, this Cockatoo shade, and then I added a little bit of NYX Butter Gloss in the center just to lighten it up because it was a little bit darker than what I wanted. But I have been thoroughly enjoying those, or that, since it's just the one. And then another thing that I think I tried probably in that same video was the Soul Body Cream Bronzer. I have the shade Medium. That is what I have on as my bronzer today. Super easy to use. It's a super creamy formula. It lasts all day. Smells kind of like tannin lotion. You know, it reminds you of like the beach or something. And you get actually a good bit of product in here, and a little goes a long way. You get 1.1 ounces, so it's about the amount that you would get like in a foundation. But this is just a stunning formula. I mean, it's super easy to blend out. It looks natural. I mean, it kind of gives you a little bit of a glow without being like greasy or shiny, and it dries down so it doesn't stay sticky on your face, but I've really been enjoying that one. And while we're talking about bronzers, we might as well move on to the next. I've been rotating these two pretty regular. This is the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer. Even though it's a luminous bronzer, it's not too luminous. That's what the shade of this one looks like. I've got the shade Sunrise, and it's more of a cool toned shade. It's not as luminous to me as like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but it's just, it doesn't smell. Just beautiful on the skin. It gives just a little bit of a glow, but like I said, not too much. It doesn't emphasize my texture. It wears well all day. Super easy to apply. I do a big fluffy I can never say that. A big fluffy brush so that I don't get too much of a concentration of that kind of luminosity, but it's kind of got a luminous powder swirled in with a matte powder, so you don't get too much of that luminosity, but it's just, I've reached for this one a ton as well. Really, these two I've just kind of alternated for the last, since I got both of these, I've just kind of been alternating which one I use depending on my mood for the day, I guess, but either one of those I think is a good choice, and they're just gorgeous products. And a couple of other things from Flower Beauty that I loved from that video. This highlight. This is their Spotlight Liquid Highlighter. I have the shade Opal. That is what I have on today. I do have it underneath my blush for that kind of lit from within glow. And I have decided my favorite way to apply this, once you pull the cap off, you just twist this little thing and you've got that little sponge tip applicator. You just squeeze some out. It doesn't take a ton of it. It does dry down pretty quick. But what I like to do is just dab a little bit on my fingers. And like today, I didn't even open it up. This is just what was left kind of in the little sponge from the last time I used it. But I'll just dab a little bit on my ring fingers and tap it on the cheeks. But it gives just a beautiful glow. It comes in 3 different shades, and it doesn't emphasize my texture. It goes on easy. It's just a gorgeous product. I really have been enjoying that. I've actually used that when I have worn a highlighter recently. It's either been that or my Essence Pure Nude, but since this is new, I've been reaching for it quite a bit. But it's beautiful, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then I am making a mess. Imagine that. And then also in that video, I tried a different shade of the Flower Beauty blush bombs. And this is this shade Bitten is just gorgeous. It's this beautiful berry tone. And it is stunning. And it's easy to apply as well. What I've been doing with it is just, I'll take a little bit on my hand and kind of smush it around, and then take one of my e.l.f. Putty Primer applicators. I'm going to try to shear that out a little bit so you can see that shade. A little bit goes a long way, but it's just gorgeous, and it gives just a little bit of sheen, or not really a sheen. I guess it just kind of, it dries down, but it leaves just kind of a flushed, fresh kind of look. And I know those blush bombs have been out for a while. The shade that I had before just didn't seem to show up much on my face. What is it? Pinched was the other one that I have. I need to retry it now that I'm consistently using sunscreen, but I've really enjoyed this formula. It's really nice. It's long lasting. Easy to apply, but just remember, a little goes a long way. If you use too much, it may you may have to tone it down with a sponge like I do on a regular basis, because I just get kind of heavy-handed with the blush. And then the next couple, I do want to mention too, I've tried these Petal Pout lipsticks. They're matte formula from Flower Beauty. Love those. And then I tried the Perfect Pout. This is the more hydrating of her lipsticks. Fantastic formula. It feels really, really nice on the lips. Again, it's not going to be long lasting. That's the shade Autumn Rose, I think. No, Blush Rose. But it's just beautiful, comfortable on the lips. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. I can't say enough good things about these Flower Beauty lipsticks. They're gorgeous. They're affordable. Like $8 and $9, I believe, depending on which formula you get, but they're just stunning. And I think I've mentioned those in my favorites before, the matte formula. Just, they're so good. Next couple of things. This was a recommendation from y'all, this Maybelline Snapscara. It is a tubing mascara. That is what I have on my lashes today. I love the wand. It's got a really, it's curved, and then it's got a small, it's smallish here at the point. This stuff will last all day. It gives amazing length. And what I found, the way I like to apply it is to put 2 coats on each eye, or 2 coats on one eye before I move on to the next eye. Normally I'll do a coat, and then go back and do another coat. But I think it builds better just with it being a tubing formula if you do 2 coats and then move on and do the other 2 coats. But this stuff just does not budge. It's easy to take off at the end of the day. The packaging is super cute with its little eyeballs on it. I just love it. I thank y'all again for recommending that, because that was a great, it's a great mascara. Maybelline really knows what they're doing with mascara. And then another thing from Maybelline that I've been reaching for, y'all know I don't always fill in my brows, but I did fill them in a little bit today. This Maybelline Express Brow, this is the one that's got the little powder on one side, and then the kind of teardrop shape pencil. It is a retractable pencil, but I've been using this just to fill in a little bit, just to kind of make the bottom edge of my brows look a little bit smoother, and then kind of filling in the arch a little bit, and then taking that powder and just putting a little bit of that through there just to kind of fill everything in. And I think it gives a pretty nice natural look to the brows, and then I just go over it with whatever, you know, brow gel I'm going to use for the day. But I've really been enjoying that. It's not, I don't think it's been in their line for a super long time, but I've been enjoying it. Like I said, I've had it for a minute, but I just pulled it back out to start using it, and it's really nice. And I think I have the shade, is it soft brown? Yes, soft brown. So I've really been enjoying those 2 things. And then y'all know I'm a blush girl. I got another blush here. I picked up one of the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder blushes. This is the shade She's Blushing. Packaging is super nice on this. Got a nice mirror, but it comes with the cream that's behind this little plastic window and the powder. This is just a stunning formula. You can put the cream down first and then do the powder, but the way that he recommends using it is to put the powder down and then go over it with the cream, and it just, this powder is so silky and satiny. It just gives a beautiful look to the cheeks. And this stuff will not go anywhere. Like, once it is on, it is on. She is not budging. And this is that's the powder, and then that's the cream. But it just applies beautifully. It lasts absolutely all day. Whatever level of blush you got when you put this on, that's what you're going to have the rest of the day. Like, it does not budge. And it just, there's something about it that just gives a gorgeous glow to the cheeks. I've really been enjoying it. You know, it is a spendier product, but your Sephora spring savings event's coming up, so you can get that 10% off. But if you've never purchased anything from Patrick Ta's website, I think if you sign up for emails, they'll send you a code for like 15 or 20% off. So, you know, that's a way you can get it for a little bit of a discount. And he has got a new eyeshadow palette coming out. I think it's the Major Dimension 2. You know, the first one he released was like a nude one. It's got 2 cream shadows in it and then a mix of mattes and shimmers. He's got a rosy toned one coming out, I think, on the 1st. I may have to grab that. I wanted to try that formula, and after trying this, I was super impressed. And y'all know I love rosy tones. Those are, you know, some of my favorite eyeshadow colors. So I may end up grabbing that one. I did pick up that Elf and Duncan collection that was just released. I grabbed it. Well, it was released today, the day I'm filming this, so I went ahead and grabbed some of the eyeshadow. It's 3 quads, so I grabbed those, and I think a coffee lip scrub. I threw those in my cart and ordered some other stuff from Elf, but several things coming out that have caught my eye. So next, let's talk about the stuff from Elf. I picked up I got a little trio of the minis of their Pure Skin line. There's a moisturizer, a cleanser, and a toner. And I really liked this cleanser. It's got oat milk, allantoin, and niacinamide. And then this has got your moisturizer's got ceramides, niacinamide, and it's made with oat milk. And then the toner, it has got oat milk, aloe juice, niacinamide, and it does have some glycolic acid in it. You can see I've still got about half of that left. I've really been enjoying this toner, but I have another toner coming from Good Molecules that I want to try out. So I'm going to try that out before I repurchase that one. But if I don't like it, or I don't like it better than this one, I'm going to grab another one of these. But what I did reorder was the cleanser. This is a really nice, I don't think I can get any out because I've used it all up. But it's kind of got a little bit of a milky consistency to it. But this is the cleanser that I'm using for my second step. Currently, I do a double cleanse with an oil cleanser and then a, cream cleanser of some kind. But it just leaves your skin feeling really, it feels clean, but it doesn't strip everything. It doesn't leave your skin feeling super dry. And I think I like this more than my Neutrogena Hydro Boost, but I've still got some of the Hydro Boost in there, so I'm using that, and I did reorder this, so I'm going to kind of, pay extra attention. But I think this one leaves my skin feeling just a little bit more hydrated than the Neutrogena one. And price-wise, they're pretty close, so, And the moisturizer, I liked this okay. It's just a little bit thick for my skin type. I'm kind of mostly normal. I lean a little combo. It's, I can't get any out. I've squeezed every last drop out. I think if you have dry skin, you would probably really like this. It takes just a second to sink in. Like when you start rubbing it in, you think, oh, this is never going to sink into my skin. But then it does, sink in, and it's just a little too hydrating for me. I used it at night, and when I would wake up in the morning, my nose just looked and felt a little bit on the greasy side. But I did, with this toner, notice some extra brightening after I started using it. And like I said, that cleanser, I've reordered some of it. So, and I think they range in price somewhere from like $9 to $12. And I think this little set was either $12 or $15 for the 3 little minis just to try it out. But I enjoyed, the whole line. It's just that moisturizer was just a little too heavy for me. Another e.l.f. item that I've been loving, it's dirty, don't judge me, is this Cookies and Dreams sponge. This retails for like $5 or $6. This is dry. It's dried out since I've used it, but this really applies my foundation, smooth, makes everything look nice and smooth. I've tried some drugstore sponges that I didn't love so much, and I don't think I love it quite as much as my Stands Out sponge, but she's a close second. There's just something about the size of this one, and there's just something about this Stands Out sponge that just stands out to me. But this is a really nice one. If you don't want to invest $20 in one of those for $5, $6, this is a really nice sponge. I hope they keep it around, and I've not tried many of their other sponges to know if, and you do need to dampen this one. I've not tried many of e.l.f.'s other sponges to know if this is the same texture as their regular sponge, just in a different design, but I really think this is a cute little design. I love it. So I've really been enjoying that. And then an eye serum that I've been using. I've been using this for a month, maybe a little bit longer, along with my Suhara Urea eye cream. I put this eye serum on first. It is more expensive. It's the NIOD Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate. This is the one that I talked about a while ago that I tried to use it twice a day to start with, and it kind of made my lids a little bit dry. But I backed off to, just using it at night for like a week. And then I started using it twice a day again, and I haven't had any issues since then. And I'm probably down to right here. And like I say, I've been using this for a month or so. Probably more. I should have wrote that down somewhere. But I don't know. My under eyes have just looked a little bit smoother. They feel more hydrated. Same with my lids. This is like $68, but it takes such a teeny tiny amount. It's super thin. It comes in a dropper. It's kind of brownish colored. But I just kind of touch the dropper to my clean ring finger. And it only takes like about that much, you know. And I use my ring finger because that's a more gentle finger to use. And then just tap it on. And then put my Urea eye cream on top of that. And my under eyes have really been in good shape. My eyelids as well. Because sometimes, I mean, you know, they're a little on the crepey side. But nothing I can do about that. But I've really been enjoying this eye concentrate. I'm gonna keep using it. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what's in it that makes it fabulous, but I've really enjoyed it. So, and I think if you get it on Beauty Bay's website, I think I got it for $58 instead of the $68. And I want to say it was free shipping. Beauty Bay does ship to the US, so you might check on Beauty Bay versus Nod's actual site. But I've really enjoyed that one. And y'all know I will link everything down below in the description box, as well as, you know, what's on my actual face. Because the only thing that I don't have on my face that I'm talking about today is the eyeshadow palette. I used my Natasha Denona Retro palette today because I'm trying to... I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes and I want to use them all. So I'm trying to make a conscious effort to rotate through those and, you know, use some of my older palettes. I thought about doing some kind of a palettes from the past series where I pull out one of my old eyeshadow palettes and we do a look with it. Let me know what y'all think about that. Because, you know, technically yesterday was the past, so it doesn't necessarily have to be 10 years old. The next thing I want to mention is this little Profusion brush set. This was, you get these 3 brushes. You get a flat, precise eyeshadow, and it's super tiny and flat. And then you get the ES6 and an ES2. This is a kind of a, I think they call it their small pointed eyeshadow brush, but I've really been enjoying this for like the lower lash line, crease work. It's good for that. And then you also get this firm blending eyeshadow. I haven't used it quite as much. It's kind of a flattish but fluffy at the same time brush, but it was like $10 for the 3 of them. Soft matte handle. It's kind of got a nice contour to it. Pretty color on the I don't know what you call that part of it, but I've really enjoyed these, especially this small pointed crease brush. And I think you can pick this up just by itself, but I've really been enjoying that. For like today I used it to put a little shadow underneath my eyes. This little small flat brush, it's super tiny. I wish I could show you something to compare it to. Like, this is my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. It's like a flat shader brush to like smudge out the lower, you know, if you want to do like an eyeliner on the lower lash line or something of that nature. Or if you want to get really precise with like an inner corner highlight, it's good for that. But I've really been enjoying these. Well, and this e.l.f. eyeshadow brush that's like, I don't know, $3, $5. I've really been liking this to pack on shadow in the outer corner of my eye. But I've been loving those. And then a couple of honorable mentions and we will be done. And the only reason these are honorable mentions is because I haven't had them all that long, so I haven't got to use them a ton. I was going to mention the Colourpop Smoke and Roses palette, but apparently it's been discontinued. Why would you discontinue something that gorgeous? What were you thinking? What were you thinking? I mean, this is just, it's those rosy tones again, but apparently this was limited edition, so I won't tell you how wonderful it is. Maybe they'll bring it back. But when I went to look, you know, for links, make sure everything was in stock and what have you, it's gone. It's gone. But my honorable mentions, this Profusion Smoky Eyeshadow Palette. I've used this a couple of times since that video. But the quality in this is just outstanding for $5 and some change. I have really enjoyed it. Like, I love this Top Notch shade. Is a great hide my hood shade. The shimmers in here are gorgeous. I've really was really impressed with this formula. I do want to pick up some of the lighter color stories for, like, I need another eyeshadow palette for the springtime, but it's just gorgeous. And then along that same video, I tried this Revlon Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing Makeup and Skincare Primer. It's got B5 and hyaluronic acid in it. I did use that as my primer today, and these two are a gorgeous combo. But this really does kind of smooth a little bit. I don't know that it fills in my pores quite as good as my Maybelline Blur Stick. I need to try them side by side and see, but this does a really good job. It's a really nice primer. You get a good amount for the price, and it's got, you know, skincare in it, which I don't really care for skincare being in my cosmetics. I do, you know, I have a whole skincare routine. We're coming up on a year of my tretinoin, so that update will be coming next month. Again, subscribe if you want to see. But I've really been enjoying this. It comes out, it looks kind of silicone-y, but I can't read that. It does have dimethicone in it. But it's kind of a clearish, whitish, but it just goes on super silky, and I can't say that it makes my makeup last any longer per se, but all my favorite foundations are pretty long lasting anyway, but I've really enjoyed this. And then I do want to mention too, I think I failed to mention this last month in my favorites, this Wet n Wild Always Naked palette. I grabbed this at Walgreens, but I've reached for this quite a bit too. Again, there's a nice, you know, hide the hood shade, but you kind of got a mix of warm and cool neutrals in here. Everything blends well. The shimmers are super nice. This shimmer up here is absolutely gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I mean, they're all gorgeous. Now, you do have one pressed glitter in here, so if that's something just something to be aware of, but it's super affordable, and the looks that have come out of this have been really pretty, but y'all just gotta, that shimmer is just gorgeous. It's so pretty for an inner corner highlight, and I like this formula better, and it could be the same formula, and maybe my eyes are in better shape, but I like that better than their little 5-pan, whatever they call those. But I've reached for this guy quite a bit. Like I said, I've been trying to, you know, rotate through my palettes and make sure everybody's getting some love so nobody feels left out in there. I've got to get a different organization system going so that I can see what I've got easier. But those are a few of my favorite things for the month of March. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I certainly enjoyed talking about all these beautiful products, and I've thoroughly enjoyed using them. Y'all know I love y'all, and I appreciate all your sweet comments and y'all watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do if you think you might like to, you know, see some of those upcoming updates. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.